Yeah.
Yeah,
we
I
gotta
put a
switch
little stank on it.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta switch up your feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Make the
yeah.
devil,
Yeah, that stank
confused.
real
Didn't you
good.
tell us
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, that stank real good. She was over here singing to you the whole time, bruh.
See how you do? He blocks me out. I'm over here singing my heart out, saying I want to make it right. I didn't want to fuss and fight with you tonight.
What's up, bruh?
Listen, I'm over. I'm over here trying to work this out. And now I wasn't discombobulated, but I just got discombobulated.
Why? What's wrong?
Because the intro threw me. I didn't know we were on.
See, Derikas is so much like Dallas.
I kept trying to loop it so you could hear Taylor talk, but
Why?
you was over there in the zone.
Well, no, see, I heard it come in, but I thought that it was like the intro before the intro. Yeah. You know, sometimes at church they remix and they give you an intro before the intro.
That organ hit.
Yeah, but I didn't know that was, the intro. I was still over here,
Well, did you hear me singing to you? No.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's what my therapist told me to do.
Why? When what's happening? When what's going on? Why you gotta do that?
I'm trying to forgive you, but you're pushing it. You really.
Well, good. You mad? So I'm about to say something else. I'm pissed with Sean Nice. I'm pissed.
I take it.
Lisa, if you are watching, Sean knows how much I love Go Go. When he play it on Tuesdays, I go, hey, wow. I do it in my show. I had a whole birthday party, 2 nights? Go Go. Sean calls me. What day was it?
Saturday. Yeah.
And he says, hey, sis, he hyped it up too, Ken. It's about 4 or 5 go-go bands. Oh, my God, it's gonna be nice. You wear your sneaker, what is it, sneaker ball or something like that? I'm like, okay, let me work this thing out. I'm figuring it out in my head. So I'm like, what time is it? Sean called me at, don't lie, about 1:32.
No, it was actually about 2:20. Yeah, it was about 2:20.
2:20.
Yeah.
I said, so, okay, what time it start? He said, 3 o'clock. I said, Sean, get off. Sean, get up. Sean, I'm curious of why you didn't call me the day before.
Look, Lisa on here talking about, I told him.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm like, Sean, why you didn't call me Friday?
Yeah, I dropped the ball on that one,
You
sis. I ain't even
did.
gonna hold you. I dropped the ball on that.
So now we're going to have our own live go-go show
Yeah,
since you did that. What you think?
my bad.
God, somebody knows.
We all love each other today,
Bruh.
right?
But you know what's so bad, Kendall, man? I don't even never get in trouble on this show. Like, I don't have no beef on this show.
You got in trouble tonight. You in trouble. I'm out.
That's my
Set off the rip. I
that's
take
my
it.
first and last time. I take it.
2:24, 3 o'clock go-go show. I funny. That's what they say. But I love y'all. I missed y'all. I didn't. So last Tuesday I couldn't come on because I'm working on something that I can't talk about. And at first I was not even gonna try to move forward with it. Like I was gonna be like, nah.
YOLO.
And then my family, everybody around me, and the people who I'm working with, kind of like, nah, you shouldn't miss this moment. So it's gonna be kind of big. So we'll see where it
YOLO.
goes from here.
You only live once, man. Like, you don't want to get to the finish line and sitting with your bingo and your off-riders drinking lemonade and feel like I could have done this, I could have tried that. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I heard a message or I was reading something. I'm always in information overload, but basically wherever I caught this at, it was saying, just enjoy the opportunity to try something. Like, it's not always about success and completion. Sometimes it's just dope having the opportunity to be considered, to try for something, to reach for something.
Yeah.
The exposure that some people don't have. So I'm learning to just be thankful that I'm aiming at something. You know what I'm saying?
But if I could be honest, though, it's almost like, let's just be honest, sometimes fear does kick in. And I think fear kicked in, and it was several things that I was just like, I dealt with this, I dealt with that. Do I want to reach back? You know what I mean? And even though I'm past that and I'm not in that place, and they know I'm not in that place, I just feel like I want to show it in a different light. So we'll move on from there. But
YOLO.
Yeah.
So check it real quick. One thing about your fans, our audience, I don't know how y'all get this stuff before we get a chance to say it ourselves, before we get to say, hey, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting texts about the book, and they like, hey, can we promote this? I didn't even know what to say, because we was waiting on Hachette.
Well, but you know what? We salute you, because y'all go hard in the paint, and
they getting the pre-orders now. Like, that's crazy.
We thank y'all. We love y'all. We've been working so much on different projects, which we will share soon, that when we seen it, y'all posted. So it was like, oh, shoot. Of course, we talked to the company. We talked to Hachette, they've been amazing. They've been amazing. The deal that we have with them is not just one book deal. It's several books. So, of course, you know, Ken got some stuff coming that I can't wait for the men and everybody to read, because Ken is that's his lane. And then I want to work on some things too. So we appreciate Hachette for believing in us. Like, they believed in us. They believed in us, and we want to make them proud. And I think this book is going to bless a lot of people. And in order to get to this book, we went through a lot. Like, we were hit. The storm hit us. You understand what I'm saying? So thank y'all to all the Rock Soul team, all the Tasia's.
You can't keep up with all them. You got.
Wait.
Dang it, you got.
Fantasia's Love.
You got Fantasia's Love. You got. Shoot, I know LaBoy gonna kill me.
Tariq is.
My name Benny, and I ain't in it. They gonna be in my DM, and I know I can't remember right now.
It's on my
Team Tasia. You got.
Fantasia Daily.
Yeah.
Fantasia Takeover.
Rock Soul Lives.
Yeah.
So thank y'all so much for that. Real talk.
And indeed, the book is available for pre-order. Be clear, you know, it drops around the top of next year. Working on a book tour to be able to kind of bring this on the road, but on a completely different level. Everything that we wanted and have been hopeful to be able to do, we'll be able to put that in position. So again, it is about bringing real life examples, practices, wisdoms to trying to find harmony in relationships and intimacy, dealing with all that we have to encounter in today's climate. So we just want to touch lives. We want to be touched as well. We have a lot that we believe we're gonna learn through the process of going out, meeting different people, sharing information and experiences. So it's not one-sided. We want to make this a three-dimensional experience where we all continue to grow and elevate.
Yeah.
One time for my wife, she came out the back with the kicks on the blaze. I said, "You looking like a high school crush, and we didn't go to the same school, girl."
Indeed, honey. I'm trying to keep the spice.
You understand what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying? I don't want to lose it. We had a baby.
You made me want to be like, "You my girlfriend? Check yes, check no."
I'm going to tell you what you made me want to be like. You ready, Nice? Nice. Are you ready? Oh, my God. You know what? See, it was supposed to drop right there. But this is what you made me want to be like.
In the back, diamond things in my grill. Brim with my eyes sitting low. Never boy in here with me got that smoke. Never girl in here gotta look me up and down.
That was just a little, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, this is what you make me want to be like. Okay?
Drive a roll that partition up,
Honey,
pimpin'.
yeah, it's been a minute.
Stop playing now.
It's been a minute, you know what I mean? I'm back.
We all gonna crash.
Getting this weight off, honey. You know what I'm saying?
Man, me too. Let's go.
Glory be to God. Your wife is back.
I know that's rich.
Lord, let's move on. Come on.
Yeah. Everybody want to cap my cutlery. Shoot. All right.
Saturday.
Peekaboo.
Saturday
it is.
We're going to the beach.
If you don't hear from us, don't file no missing persons report. We straight. We straight. But it's all about you. Like that's why we dress down. Oh man, Paul Daniels. Shout out to Paul Daniels for this top. When I seen Nice, I came around the corner. You said you got the island vibes. I said, man, this shirt made me feel like you supposed to call your mom and say, Mom, I made it. Mom, I made it. But good looking, Paul, man.
Baby, you look really cute.
Yeah, man. I got a little Jolly Rancher thing going on. You know
What's going on with us? It's like that young thing, you know what I mean, coming back?
We're not old, man. Like
no, baby.
We'll never be old. We'll be vintage.
I think our kids are jealous of us.
They should be.
Yeah.
We set the bar extra high.
I got a little diamond going on and everything. You know, Zion jealous.
I don't even know
they
can catch it. She salty about that?
Yeah, she jealous.
Okay.
She's jealous because her boyfriend said I'm looking good. She said, shut up. I said, young man, you're wise.
I be telling Miss Diane she hurting him. Stop playing. I said, Mama. Huh? Oh.
Oh. What?
Oh, y'all caught that?
Mama
I be telling Mama she looking good. I said, Mama, you doing your thing.
Yeah, she doing
good.
I
say you getting skinny, girl. You gonna wither away.
Oh, God, don't tell her that.
She be like, man of God.
Somebody told her that, never mind, keep it moving.
What's up, Derek?
Keep the party going.
First, giving honor to God, who's the head of my life. You know, I decided to drop Hi Guys and pick up first, giving honor to God, who's the head of my life. Every platform and every mic I get on, I just want to give God honor.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel you.
And yes, I'm going to be messy in ghetto tonight. Somebody said, Derickis, don't come on here being messy in ghetto.
Oh, no.
I'm definitely being messy in ghetto tonight.
No, the crazy part is all my girlfriends be coming to me and was like, you know who I like on Taylor Talk? I'm like, who? Derickis. I said, yeah, he's stupid. Not stupid, he's stupid.
Hey guys,
Hi,
Feliz
Zee.
Navidad, espero año felicidad. Gracias, señorita. What up, bro? What it do? Yeehaw. Louise, Georgie.
You sound like you could work at a radio station for real.
Hey, child.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. Listen, I took a nap. I think that was yesterday I hit you. I was taking a nap, and I woke up and went on social media. You know now when you go to sleep, you wake up, you just go right to social media. And I saw no crowns in the castle.
Right.
And I couldn't even catch my breath. I said, hey, Pooh.
Right. He do like Sean do. Like, one thing about it, Sean Nice and Derickis don't play. If they see anything, and Lisa, they gonna call. So Derickis was like, hey, Pooh. I said, hey. He said, is the book supposed to be promoted? I said, yeah, it's pre-orders. He was like, I'm just checking.
I'm just checking because I seen it, and when I first saw it, I went to your page and I went to Kendall page and I looked at your stories and I see that. I said, wait, what's going on here? So
but did you get excited? Like,
yeah, I got excited.
It was exciting to see that, huh?
I got excited.
It's crazy.
The cover looked good. No crowns in the castle.
Shout out to Derek Blanks for that.
So everybody is asking, where can they pre-order?
So it's Barnes and Nobles.
I know Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah.
Like literally, we were waiting to get the confirmation feedback. We had emailed our team, was like, "Hey, give us the official green light so that we know." I've seen some screenshots of Barnes and Noble. I know they're working on Amazon, and I mean they're gonna make sure it's in all platforms, different countries, the whole 9 yards. So I know there's been talks about an audio book.
And what we would like to do, which is something that me and Ken and everybody in this room is gonna like, we want to go on a book tour. We want to bring Taylor Talk live to your city. We want to open up theaters, and we want y'all to come in. And what we're doing right here, right now, we want to do it live with you guys. Make it fun. And then, of course, at the end of the night, I'm going to put DJ Sean Nice to the test, and I'm going to have to perform a little sing. But that's what we want. Why your eyes got big? You ain't ready? I thought you had the anointing. Now, I know you anointed. Say something.
Sis, come on now.
What?
You always do this. Like, you know I'm ready.
I got the utmost faith in you, bruh.
Bro, you know I be on point.
Utmost
I
faith.
just like to mess with you. I got to keep you on your toes. But
We want to like bring out couples, man. We want couples to come out, VIP experience, to be able to, answer questions firsthand, get other experts to come out. We won't be the only ones talking on the platform. We want to create an experience and bring something positive.
You know who I would love to have, and I don't think it should only be couples, Ken and D. Like I think
I got this thing, not to cut you. I got this thing where I want to talk to several divorce attorneys. I want to talk to divorce attorneys about what are some of the dumbest fights, the most horrible fights. That is a wealth of information right there that can be used for those trying to stay together because they've seen things at the worst. I know they have information, and I'm curious to see how does being a divorce attorney affect their relationship.
Yeah.
Just different angles.
it's several couples that I like, really, really like, and it's also I feel like we should bring couples on the stage that buy tickets with stories. So we like put an email out there where people can like send us a story or whatever the case may be, whether they've been together this time or feel like they don't want to be together, like bring them up on stage. But I would love to invite Tabitha and her husband. What's her last name? Is it Brown? Tabitha Brown? Yeah, I love them. You know, she just had the whole thing with Wendy Williams, and like I felt she like I'm gonna slide on. I gotta give props where props is due because I felt like she it was so silky and so smooth and so classy and so elegant and so wise, and I can just keep going on. So I would like to maybe have couples like that to come out, and of course if we could get Bishop T.D. Jakes and his wife, that would just be amazing.
I won't have to do no talking that night.
That would
I'm gonna
be
sit with my
amazing.
notebook and just chill.
Gosh, that would be amazing. The list goes on and on of like couples that, you know, I feel like have been doing their thing and they're very raw and they're very honest. So that's something we want to do. So that's what we're working on, to come to your city to do a live Taylor Talk, as well as bring some guests. I know we've been saying we want to bring guests on Taylor Talks, but it's just kind of difficult with COVID and the things that we're working with right here. So maybe one day we can take this thing to television. I would love to do so.
I'll go knife. So y'all ready? Because I'm coming in heavy tonight. Okay, here we go. D. Lewis from Fort Wayne. My oldest son passed on 7/11/21. I'm really broken by his passing. How do I hold on to God's unchanging hand? I feel as though he doesn't love me or my family anymore. I have 2 other children, and it seems like I can't reach them anymore. It seems like the enemy is on my track so hard. I spend so much time trying to talk to them. I've already lost one son who wouldn't listen to me. How do I get through to my 2 children that I have now so that the same thing don't happen to them?
Oh, you really came. Okay. Oh, okay.
Can I start this one?
Yeah.
Because if I'm reading between the lines, it seems like possibly the young man might have been involved in the streets or something unfortunate happened. And if I'm wrong, please forgive me. But normally you would say lost him to cancer, you know, some kind of battle or something. But when she said he wouldn't listen, because I walked that path, there's no right answer, right reply, but there is a righteous one. And we named our daughter Keziah because of the book of Job. And it was because we had lost so much. But we also believe that the same God that taketh away is the same God that giveth. And we are just clay on his wheel. We can't dictate what he will shape us into or our lives around us. And it could be very uncomfortable. Know for sure when we think God is the most furthest away, it's when he's closest. It's us that tends to drift apart from our own emotions, our own worries, our own sense of grief. That weight that you're carrying, you don't have to carry alone. There's nothing that can replace a child. It's different than a divorce, or especially for a mother who carried that child. But those are the things that God is truly hoping with all his heart that you will bring to his feet and trust that he will give you direction, that he will give you healing, and that he will give you direction as far as how to continue to operate and function as a family. And right now, love is needed more than anything, because what the enemy would love is for anger and bitterness and rage and grief to consume and wipe away the promises that are still remaining. So again, there is no right answer, but there is a righteous one. And God is the same God yesterday, today, and tomorrow, willing to take that weight off of us. You know what I mean? Again, nothing can replace a child. But if nothing else, I know everybody in this room would agree that God has not forgotten about you. He has not let you go. There's so many stories in the scriptures, if we truly believe him, where children were lost, spouses were lost, for whatever the reason may be. But God continued to reinforce and confirm he is that who he say he is. And he wants to love you and comfort you and heal you if you would just turn to him in this moment. I know that's not easy. That was just last month.
Yeah. Kim mentioned the book of Job, and if you read that book, what's her name again? Hopefully she's watching, because she sent in this question today. If you read that book of Job, you'll see where Job lost everything. D. Lewis, Job lost everything. Job lost children. He lost everything. And that's one of the reasons why I'm attracted to that book, because I couldn't understand how someone could be so strong. It's different when you are a mother, because like Ken said, you carry that child for 9 months. You raise that child. We still carry them even when they're not in our stomach. Doesn't matter. I don't care how old we all get in this room. Even yourself, our mothers are still, they treat us like we're still their babies. I pray for you for the son that you have lost. I also pray for you that for the ones that you have. Being a mother, especially living in this day and time, 2020, 21, things have changed. The children, the young people, the youth is what the enemy desires. And they're doing and seeing and touching things that we did not do, see, and touch. And all of them are depressed, all of them are stressed, and they are angry, full of anger. So I will say to you, do what I'm doing with my soon-to-be 20-year-old, is covering her under the blood as much as I can and giving her back to God and saying, God, your will be done in their lives. Strengthen me. Give me what I need to raise her, to raise Dallas, to raise Keziah, and to also be a stepmother to Treshawn, who has an amazing mother. But still, I'm in his life, so I need you to download everything that I need to provide for my children. So I ask that you cover them under the blood, go on a fast, a strong fast, and just ask God to give you everything you need and strengthen your heart and strengthen your mind, as well as your body, because when we are stressed and we have all that stuff on us physically, we sometimes take a hit. So I'm just going to say, being that I'm an intercessor, what I would like to do is just stand in agreement with you as a mother, as a sister, for your sons that you have now, and pray for your heart and your mind for the one that you have lost. God bless you. I know that this is hard, but the only man that can bring you through what you're going through right now is the man upstairs.
Keisha Kyler from Tallahassee, Florida. Want to know, what do you do when you done all you can? No, just kidding. But she do want to know, what do you do? She want to know, after having disagreements in your marriage and deciding to continue to try, making things work, things go good for a period of time, and then everything revert back to trouble in paradise. What do you do? Do you give up, or do you continue to try? 1 minute we moving forward, the next minute we moving backwards.
I honestly think that that's gonna happen your whole entire marriage. Woo! It's gonna happen. But what I do think that you do, which is something that me and Kendall have experienced, is you stand your ground. You stand it in a way where it doesn't threaten him. No, I can't leave you, but I got to tell you, if certain things don't stop, then I don't know if I can deal with it. And that goes for the male too. Because Ken says to me sometimes, like, you have those things and I have those things. I can't deal with this, and I'm saying, and I can't deal with that. So I feel like each should stand their ground. When me and Ken separated the first time, Ken had every right to leave. Every right. I was dead wrong. Dead wrong. The stuff that I was doing was so wrong. I was running him away. I was testing him constantly, and he left. If you hadn't have left, then some of the stuff that I was doing, I wouldn't have like let it go. You had to do that in order for me to let some things go. So when I came back to your office that day, I realized that I could not go back and do the same things that ran you away. So sometimes I feel like in a marriage, you have to stand your ground. And the other person may not like it. It's like for example, when I'm quiet on Ken, he hates it. I'm starting to hate that too. If we have an argument and I don't bounce back as quick, he can't stand that. But sometimes I have to do so to show him that certain thing that happened can never happen again. And you do it as well. No, I'm not going to leave you. And we can't leave. We made vows. But I need you to see that when you do that, you're pushing me away. So we can't be intimate like we were. We can't laugh and talk like we were. The house feels cloudy. It feels dark. Everything is off. The children are off. They feel it. How do we fix this thing? And when you love someone so much, you will figure out how to fix it. But you can't leave. You made those vows. You understand what I'm saying? But I do think you have to stand your ground, and there's a way to do it where that person realizes, if I don't stop that, I'm going to lose my whole entire family. I'm going to lose everything I work for. I'm going to lose everything I put into this marriage. Like, it's better for me to be here and not lose this, so let me fix it.
I know for us, and we'll always stick to us, that keeps us out of even trying to claim like we're experts or that we're not still growing and learning. We are continually seeking to fully understand what forgiveness looks like. So when you say something's reoccurring, then that means something from the old is polluting something that's new. You know, you have an argument today about something, but then something happened a couple years ago continues to come up because forgiveness has not been experienced. And I know I'm learning that forgiveness has to be a three-way street, me, you, and God. Because not only do I need you to forgive me or do I have to forgive you, I also have to release that to the Father, because the enemy and my own insecurities and self-consciousness are ready to work that thing in my mind. Because we were talking earlier today about how we automatically go to the worst case scenario. When somebody says something and there's been so much hurt, we immediately filter it through the worst possible scenario, never saying, I'm going to take that you meant it at the best, you meant it from a pure place, because we are all sensitive and we're all walking in this state of defensive-ness. So in order to stop something from reoccurring, we're not talking about new things, reoccurring, you have to be serious and very intentional about forgiveness and what that really looks like. That means communicating it, putting it out there on the line, burying it, and making sure you don't repeat those same cycles again.
Which is hard. It's incredibly hard. But with God, like you said, you can change that. But that'll never stop. So on to the next. You will be doing that until you're 60, 70 years old.
Hopefully it's about different things, though. That's a standard I'm putting on myself as a head of this relationship. Is there's certain mountains we can't continue to circle because we have to get somewhere. So if we're circling the same mountain of disagreement, I'm of the belief that I have to figure our marriage is also not moving forward. So it's okay to see like deja vu of something, but you should not be in a situation where you 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you're going to war over the same thing. Like, that has to get buried.
But if you are, and I feel like this, you got to get into canceling. Like, there's some things that I feel like me and Ken moving forward, I would like to do canceling, but we got to find the right person. That's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. Like, we got to find the right person, but it's some things still that's like kind of in there that came from not me and him. It came from like before stuff. And I know the last conversation that we had was about forgiveness, and we're always tested. We had this conversation about forgiveness, and we're always tested. I'm gonna be very honest. I had a situation happen not too long ago where I called somebody, and I was like, "Yo, I want to move on. I want to love you, and I want to da-da-da-da." And they took it way back to something they felt like I hurt them by. And I'm like, yo, can we just move on? You know what I mean? Let's just move on. But something in that made me call. And what it was I felt like I had just said, I'm moving on. I don't need them. I love you. I forgive you. I'm moving on. But something in me made me call that person. And I realized that maybe I haven't moved on yet. I could be honest. Maybe I haven't moved on yet. Something made me call back. Okay, I got rejection. Okay, so cool. But I don't even want to focus on the rejection. I want to focus on why did I call. You understand?
Michaela Jones of San Diego. This is a young person, by the way. And this is a serious question. How do you feel about young girls being expected to have bodies of an adult? And you know this, and I know if somebody if a young girl put up a question like this on social media, she would get so attacked. But we're living in times now where you have self-esteem. Yeah. I remember, even not to this extent, but I remember when I was in school, like girls who couldn't get their hair done and stuff. Like you are handled with the pressure, and now you got young girls who are going to school with other girls that have, you know, breasts and flat stomachs and butt. Like, this is the new generation. Yeah. And now you feeling like you feeling lost in the sauce. Yeah. And so, you know, this young lady, this is a serious question. She wanted to know. Like, you know, I like it.
Nah, Darikas, that didn't just start happening now. I dealt with that when I was young. That was happening back then, where, you know, if you don't have, like, I was a skinny chick in school. You can go back and Google me on Idol. I was skinny, okay? I was a size 0. I had nothing, okay? I was all lips, okay? And when I was in school, it was girls who had, like, all these shapes, like grown women. So insecure I was, because I felt like, oh, I don't got this, I don't got that. Okay, now I look back and I look at them and I'm like, whew. I look good. You look tough. But never mind that. But that's been happening. It's gotten a lot worse. And I will say that our young girls are sometimes developing a lot earlier because of the stuff that they're putting in the food. You know what I mean? The young kids ain't young enough for the period of time that they should be. You see what I'm saying? 9-year-old girls and 10-year-old girls have breasts and menstruations, and I don't think it's supposed to be that way. I think it's a lot of stuff that we eat and a lot of stuff they put in the food. I will say this, sweetheart. You don't have to have all that to be beautiful. You are beautiful. Everything that God makes is beautiful. Everything. I'm 37 years old and I'm still having to remind myself that, do I need to be the hot girl, or do I be the classy woman that, you know, is respected? Do I be the classy woman that represents a mother and represents a wife? Because everything out there right now is hot girl, showing this and showing that and being almost naked. So I still struggle with that. But the one thing that I can go to bed at night and be happy with is the fact that I know that I'm beautiful. Beauty does not have to be in all of the stuff that you see on Instagram. Beauty does not have to be showing all your stuff, going to buy booties and titties. And guess what? Whoever does that, that's no disrespect to you, but I want to talk to the young girl who's feeling like she needs to be that. And right now, you need to just be young and enjoy yourself and understand that your body is still developing. You're still developing, and you're going to change. I was in a store earlier today, and I was buying something for Keziah. And the lady that was at the cash register was talking about one of the shows that I watch on TV. And she was like, yeah, all of the girls have had babies now. And I was like, oh, really? Is that on the show? Is the show back on? She was like, no, it's on their Instagram. I follow them. I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't even notice. So she hauls up and says, and one of the girls' baby is just like the ugliest baby I've ever seen in the world. I was like, oh, I'm curious. Show me go to her page and show me what the baby looked like. So she pulls up the page, and I look at it, and I'm like, she's beautiful. But you know what the world has become now? If you don't have a certain color eye, if your hair is not a certain length, and if your skin tone is not a certain color, then you're not beautiful. And I was blown away. I rode home the whole entire time like, yo. And I'm thinking to myself, she wasn't even all that hot. She was an older lady. I'm being very honest. I'm like, it's so cruel to me how everybody in their lens thinks everything should be the way that, the society has made it. You got to be this, you got to be that. No. We're all beautifully and perfectly made. So you don't have to have all of those things. You just have to find the right crew and the right people and the right lover to understand who you are and see your beauty. I could go on for days about that, but that's a tough one. It's a tough one. I talked to this about, talking with Zion. She's tiny. She's little. You understand? But she's beautiful. But she doesn't have all the things that she sees on Instagram. And I'm like, Zion, you don't need all of that. You straight. Work what you got. You understand? But that's hard when all you see all day is certain bodies, certain things. And that's what our young people think is beautiful. But I want to say to you, baby girl, wake up every day and remind yourself that you are beautiful and you are perfectly made. And just give your body time to grow. You're young.
I want to throw something in there because I think in our community there's not enough men who speak into our young girls, our sisters, and edify them as well. It's common for women to encourage and edify each other, but sometimes I believe the paradigm would change if men begin to do a different level of protection and edifying. So I'll just say this real quick. Ask yourself, are you going to hunger to be respected and admired, or do you feel like you're missing out on sexual attraction? That's what it boils down to. It's all it boils down to. So if you're in a position where you feel like you don't have the right bait to catch the attention of men or young boys who are only trying to satisfy their sexual desires, you might be getting spared a lot of the babies, STDs, heartbreak, abuse that these women are going to go through because men are seeing them nothing else other than a pillow cushion. Be careful with the thing that you lust for. Sometimes it could be the very thing that destroys you. So the question you have to ask yourself, and this is coming from a big brother, is what is more important to you? Love, commitment, growth, teamwork, harmony, or do you want to be more sexually desirable to men who probably ain't mature enough and been through enough to be able to treat you the way you really want to be treated? That's all I'm going to say.
And I know that's so hard because all they're doing is scrolling all day. So to the young lady, I know she hears what we're saying, but it's like, dog, it really is.
It's called social engineering. Social media is engineering our mind, the way we think, our impatience, our short-term focus, our insatiable appetite, our unappreciation for anything antique, ancient, tradition. We are being socially engineered to feel like we're not enough, we haven't attained enough.
But can I say something that's so weird? Because I was just talking to one of my girlfriends about this the other day. Because she lost all this weight. And she looks good. She's tiny. But then she saw me. Now, remind you, I'm trying to get out my baby weight. She's like, I lost too much weight, huh? And I was like, well, how much were you trying to lose? She was like, just a little bit, but I done got too skinny. Now I want to put back on. And I just bust out laughing because I was like, we are never satisfied. Like, I went from being so tiny, going through the same thing you went through, wanting to have this, wanting to have that, and now, young lady, I want it off. It's too much. I'm in the gym, I'm working hard, but it's crazy how we want something, and when we get it, then you want something else. And I told her, I was like, yo, you lost all that weight, now you want to gain it back? Well, I just didn't want to get too skinny, and I needed a little more curve, and I needed more. I think that does not stop. And we're older than this young lady. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm going to tell you is certain affirmations and certain things that you have to do to enhance the beauty that's already there, whether it's a certain hairstyle or it's a certain earring you wear, a certain lip color, or a certain shoe, a certain, like, find your thing and swag it out. Find your thing. Work, you know, you get what I'm saying?
And know this, there's men who like big girls. There's men who like skinny girls. There's men who like tall women. There's men who like short women. Some like short hair, long hair. Know that you are perfect for somebody. There's some young man out there who feels like you're out of his league and would appreciate you and lift you up and protect you and remind you every day how beautiful you are. There's somebody for everybody. There's somebody out there who thinks I am butt dog ugly, but my wife think I'm fine as old wine. You understand what I'm saying? There's something for everybody. Wait till your match finds you so you'll be appreciated before you start reaching for somebody who ain't going to satisfy what you need as a person in the first place.
But last thing, you have to know it for yourself before anybody else can come in your life and show you. So you have to have those affirmations and look at yourself in the mirror every day and figure out what your thing is.
If you don't feel like you're beautiful anyway, then your beauty will be contingent on how another man feels about you.
Yeah.
And he'll be able to manipulate and gain leverage over your self-confidence and self-identity. But if you wake up and you feel like I'm good enough the way that I am, I might not have everything I want, but I love who I am, then another person, especially a young teenage hormonal boy's opinion, won't be able to control your sense of validation. Don't ever give anybody that power.
Right. And I'm going to, last thing, and then we're out. So this is very, very, might be too much for the men in the room, but to the young lady. So my mom came to me and said a lot of her friends call her and say, I want to have your daughter's backside. I want something like that. But I'm like, are you telling them that I'm in the gym trying to get I'm trying to get it down, okay? So if somebody else wants it, I'm trying to get it down. It's too much. It's a lot. So understand this. And I have people to walk up to me and ask me, or is it fake? Is it this? I'm like, no, ma'am. I got it from my mama. And we complain all day long. It's too much. It's a lot. So you have to look in the mirror and just give yourself affirmations and say, okay, I got this. I got that. Okay, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to work this. I'm going to work that. I'm going to get my hair like this. I'm going to, figure out what your thing is, baby girl, and work it, because everybody's doing the same thing you're doing. We want less. We want more. We just don't know, but you'll figure it out.
Both of you are parents. Fantasia, your mother. Kendall, your father. Can you, in this same topic, in this area, can you both speak to parents? Because I remember when I was young, and especially in our black community, like, it was times that I wish I could go to my mom and explain some of my concerns. And there's a lot of young people that have concerns, but they can't go to their parents because sometimes parents don't make your questions feel validated or valued, and they shut it down. So it's one, you're on social media, you're going to school, and you're not feeling like you know who you are, and then you don't have parents that are supporting your questions that you have. And I know both of you are parents, so can y'all both speak to those parents who have young people like this? Because this is a young person that's asking this question that probably haven't even discussed this with their parents, because sometimes parents are not. Questions like this sometimes make a parent just go berserk. Like my mom was just like,
yeah, I know. Why is you thinking about that? So I feel like what me and Ken try to do is not stay young, but stay in the loop. So we need to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like tonight, Zion's going to call me and be like, you think you young, you had on some ones and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm young. I'm just trying to stay in the loop. You know what I mean? I think sometimes we have to stay in the loop, even if we are believers of Christ and believe and we're followers. We can't be so holy and so self-righteous that we don't stay in the loop, because that's when you lose your children. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So there's certain things that me and Ken go and we research and search for, or on YouTube or on IG, or like he'll come to me and be like, let me show you something. You ain't gonna never believe this. Or I'll go to him and be like, I'm about to blow your mind today. And it's certain things that we be like, no way. But we realize that this is what our children are seeing and dealing with. And it helps us to better relate. So I think you have to stay in the loop. You can't just put a TV and an iPad in front of your kids and walk off. And then when you come in the room and they on it all day long, you get on the iPad. All you do is da-da-da-da. Well, no, what you need to do is realize what all they doing, what they watching, what's on it. You understand what I'm saying? Have deeper conversations with them and stay in the loop. That's my suggestion. And when you do, you can't be so preachy that you just, right? It has to be an open conversation where you are able to allow them to just think.
And no question or concern is stupid or dumb.
No.
Like you took the words right out of my mouth. Like as far as staying in tune, you got to keep a pulse with the culture. If you don't, regardless of your opinion of culture and the culture we have, you got to respect it. You got to understand that it is an unshakable, unstoppable train. It is a force. This culture is bleeding through Asia, India, Africa. You can ignore it if you want to, but it is in your home. So you got to keep a pulse. Real quick, so for instance, there's an organization who has a national footprint, right? And they always bring me into keynote in the prisons, right? They go into these prisons 365 days out of the year, but when they do a big event, they bring me in the keynote speak. Why? Because I have a pulse. So when I go in and speak to the fellas and I'm delivering the word of God, I have the lingo, I know the handshake, I know the mannerisms, that I know that they're in touch with the culture, so that I can come behind enemy lines and penetrate with the word of God. They come in looking like Poindexter, Bishop, PhD, this, that, to the third, and so as soon as they come in, they on guard. So you got to keep a pulse, because that is on the way you're going to have connectivity. And last, parents, you got to stop being scared. A lot of times parents will shut something down out of fear, because they're not in tune with the internet. They don't know what's going on. They know they're out of touch. They know they don't have the answers. But the one thing that should give you courage is, remember, you wasn't always a believer.
I was just finna say.
You wasn't always holy. Like Mike Epps said something one time. He said, you know your grandma who she is now. You know what I'm saying? He said, your grandma got saved a week after you was born. He said, but, grandma used to have a liquor house and used to cut people for fun. Don't forget that there was a time when we were lost, when we were walking in our sin, and we were doing mischievous things and sneaking out the window and going down to the juke joint, whatever the case may be. Let's not get so lost and blind like we done arrived that we can't reach back into our own history to be able to find a place of connectivity with our own children. Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun. What's old becomes new, what's new becomes old. There's nothing new under the sun. So if your child is going through something, it's likely something you've went through. It's just packaged in a different way.
Right.
So sometimes being honest about your sin, your mistake, how you got through that can help bridge the gap between that conversation.
Oh, honey, my mama she must have heard what we was talking about, honey, because my mama just peeped in. Oh, I know she's ready to throw one. She came in, I looked over, I thought something was wrong with the baby. She said, oh, no, keep going. But sometimes, too, I think it may be fear. It's fear of the parent not wanting to see your child go through what they went through. But, and my mama peeped in at the right time, because me and my mama still have these conversations when it, like we talk about her stuff, then my stuff, and Zion. And we come to the conclusion after we're done talking, because my mama going to hit you straight with prayer. But, no. She's going to be down to earth, but at the end, she's going to make sure she ends it with prayer. So when it comes to Zion, I have to remind her, because she's done it with me, but I don't know what that thing is with grandkids. It's like a bit more touchy, or like, I can't let her do it. I'm like, mama, she's doing the same thing I done that you got to see, and the same thing you did that grandma got to see, that you and grandma talked about, and me and you talked about. Now she's going through it.
So it's like, parents, you have to remember the same God that saved you it's the same God that'll save them. When Trey would go through certain situations, right?
Here she is.
When Trey would go through certain situations, or even Zion or whatever, my wife be like, "You so cool," and I'm like, "Yeah," because two things: one, the same God who saved me is the same one who will save them. They're in His hands. And then sometimes you got to look at your kids and be like, "At least they ain't doing what I was doing. At least they ain't out there wilding like I was wilding. So let me find a place of commonality and share some of my." That's another thing too with parents. You try to come off like you're perfect because you think that's what it takes to maintain authority. That's lordship. Authority comes from a mutual respect. You have a hierarchy and a ranking, but it's respect. Some of the most powerful conversations I've had with Trey is being able to point to something he was going through and saying, "Look, when I did this, this is how I lost. This is what it cost me. I don't want it to cost you the same thing." Instead of trying to keep up this front like I ain't never done nothing, been through nothing, and now he's on the defensive. Use some of your mistakes to build a bridge of commonality with your child, and it'll actually strengthen the relationship. But you got to be willing to be vulnerable and let your kids see that you're not flawless.
Oh, I'm going to say this and then we can move on. So, y'all know how, like, back in the day, like, when we used to go into the grocery store, and before you go into the grocery store, your mother would give you this speech, or your father would give you this speech. Don't touch nothing. Don't ask for nothing. Don't look at nothing. Remember that? Like, we used to be shook. You be in the store walking a straight line. I'm going to be honest. A lot of the things back in the day taught me, like, it left us with some good things. A lot of the things back in the day also left us with some bad things, because it left us with not being able to have a voice. You understand what I'm saying? So some of the stuff that we wanted to get out, we couldn't get out because the rule was don't look, don't touch, don't say, don't do. Don't even cry when I whoop you. Yeah, cut it, right? So that left us with some things that when we were able to get out, we zoomed to wild out, right? But we were different. We were dealing with a different devil then. Now we in 2021. Everything that got a little smarter, slicker,
The
and
devil
it's
done
different.
went digital.
Oh, shoot. Okay, you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? So now we're dealing with a different generation where it can't be don't look, don't touch, I'ma smack you. Number one, you're going to go to jail because they've changed the rules intentionally. Number two, they're going to hit you with suicide, anxiety, depression. Man, we never like dealt with a lot of that stuff because some of the things that our parents showed us helped us, but at the same time, some of the other things hindered, but we wasn't dealing with the same type of enemy, the same type of he's upgraded. You understand what I'm saying? Am I going somewhere with this? So now it's like you can't hit him. It's not good to hit him with the don't say nothing. Now it's better I need to know what's on your mind. Talk to me. Every day, let's have a conversation. Call me every day. Anytime you want to talk. Let's go out to eat. Let's set every week we go out to eat on Friday, Thursday, whatever the case may be, because it's a different time for a different generation.
Yeah, I think it's about parents finding that balance. Like, my mom was really, really hard on me, and I turned out all right. But
yeah, you turned out all right.
Something you said that hit home for me is that I didn't have a voice for a long time. So sometimes when people think that I'm being a kind of way, I'm really not. I have a shy side to me because my mom taught me to be seen and not heard. So I became great at being seen and not heard. And so it takes a lot for me to have a voice sometimes and to be heard. It takes so much. I have to be so comfortable, to have a voice. And I turned out all right. But, it took my voice, for a long time. And so I still have that side of me now that's still shy, and that still get kind of timid sometimes, But I've mastered how to be seen, I can go into a room and everybody will know I'm there in my silence. But I struggle sometimes with being heard,
And oh God, we got to move on. But sometimes I know we do, but a
And
lot
this
of that,
helping
and
people,
not even to fault your mother, but that goes back to way back slavery days. We were always silenced, and mothers and fathers would say it's best to shut up. It's best to be quiet. So your mother came from a whole different generation and a whole different time who says, I just want to protect my children. Shut up. Don't say nothing. So even in then, I almost feel like I don't want young people to resent their parents. You take the time, too, to figure out who your parents are and what their story is. Ask them. Because it will teach you that, dog, my mom and my daddy went through some things. Okay, so that's why they are. Okay, so that's, like, honestly, we all got to take the time to sit back and we don't have family talks no more because everybody's on the cell phone. We don't have family dinners anymore because everybody's got this to do and that to do. So I want to challenge the young people who are watching. Don't just, shoot your parents and be like, oh, they don't listen and all that. They come from some things too that taught them some certain things, and that's all they knew to survive.
It's tough. It's tough. Like, one big thing I know with Keziah that I won't say I did well with Trey at all is I'm understanding the sacrifice and the benefits of intentional parenting. See, we got a lot of young parents, and they don't want to be intentional and structured, and so we just toss the iPad, we give them the phone because it'll just keep them quiet. But that thing that's babysitting them has access to billions of opinions. That's what's happening right now. Everybody's blogging. Everybody's got a page. Everybody's got something. It's so much nonsense and ignorance on social media, but everybody has access. So parents, we have to be intentional because our kids are going to have access to billions of opinions. Different races, different sexes, different religions, different philosophies. We have to make sure ours at least drops the most seeds. We can't get in the way of process. God has to bring the water. He gets the increase, so on and so forth. But we have to drop enough seeds intentionally so that something in us and our DNA and our bloodline can have a fighting chance to take root. Because, again, when you go online, like, you got almost 5 million followers, right? And you just one person. There are billions of opinions out here that are flying with no contempt and no regard and no consideration. They're saying what they feel. They're crying. They laughing. They only fanning. They singing. They dancing. I mean, whatever you can. That is information overload. It is best for us to be intentional, have some structure in our family environment to where we can know, out of all these seeds, it's a number game, out of all these seeds that I'm throwing, I know some of them are going to catch and take root, and then I can leave the rest to God. Yeah, you're going to have to walk in fear if you know that you left your kid to their own vices on these devices, and they have none of your spirit in them. They have none of your philosophies, none of your principles. Now they're at the mercy of 1 in a billion. I'm not letting my child go through that. So I'm going to have to be intentional. It's going to be days I'm going to have to shut down at work to make sure I talk to her, play with her, help her develop, see what she's doing. How does she respond? See, we don't intentionally parent anymore because we put them on these devices because they'll shut up so we can get back to being young. So we can get back on the phone and kiki, ha-ha, go in the corner and roll up. Parenting is intentional. It is a sacrifice. And that's something I missed earlier because I was 15 years old and nobody was intentionally parenting me. Not no fault of my mama. She was working 3 jobs to keep up. Mm-hmm. But that bled over into Trey. Trey caught it. He's intentionally parenting. We got to do the same thing. Parenting has to be intentional. It's not a part-time job. It's not something where when we take a road trip, hey, family, so what's going on? Nah, because now so-and-so.com got your child, and they ain't gonna let them go.
No, you're right, Kendall. And because when a child asks you a question and you shut them down, they haven't let that question go. They're going somewhere else for an answer. Yeah.
They're going to find it.
Yeah, they're going somewhere else. Yeah. My next question. My husband is controlling and verbally abusive. I am miserable. I want to leave this marriage, but we have 2 kids. And because he is the sole provider, financially it will be hard to leave. I have no family, so if I left, I would be homeless. What do you do when you have a spouse that is controlling and belittling? Is there hope for this marriage? And the funny thing is, because I work with so many women, I know so many women in this predicament. There's so many women with they're what you call stay-at-home moms, and they're in situations where it's controlling and it's abusive, and they don't know how to leave because financially they're stuck. You know, I know so in my lifetime of doing hair and working with women, I know so many women in this predicament of because financially they have to stay with whatever the situation is, whether it's physical, verbal, you know.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not why they stay. Women are made different. We're different. They love him. They love him. They love their family. They love their children. They love him enough where they one day think that he will wake up and realize how much they love him. It's not about the money, because we could go out and we can make money. Women, when it comes to our kids, we will go out and we will figure it out. If we got to go stay in the shelter for a couple of days, we will figure it out. They love that person. And they love them enough to want to see that change in them. I will say this. I'm not going to tell any woman to sit and be physically abused constantly. I'm not going to say sit because you don't have the money, sit because you don't have, because eventually what's going to happen is there's this show that's on Netflix and it's called Dirty John, but they got one on there about Betty, and Betty snaps and she killed him. And she killed he had a girlfriend. So what I'm saying to you is sometimes it's best that you leave so that you don't end up getting yourself in any trouble. I would never say leave your marriage. But if you are just constantly being abused physically, it's best that you walk away from it. Because sometimes the walk away will maybe sometimes open up their eyes to see, what the hell have I done? There's no one like her. I miss my children. I miss her smell. I miss her. Let me get myself together. And sometimes they will go and start working on themselves and fight for it. And that's what you got to look forward to. If I walk away, will you come and fight for me? Will you change your ways? Will you stop doing those things? Will you realize what you got? So no, I'm not going to say to her, sit and pray about it. No. Because what's going to happen is you're going to snap. And that in the moment you wake up and you realize, oh God, I just shot him. I just stabbed him. I was scared. I was fearful. So I would say, no, you have to leave. You can get help. There is help out there. You might not have family in that city. And a lot of times, too, women don't want to talk about what they're going through with their families because they have put on a persona of what their family is and what he is, so you embarrassed, you can't tell it. Sometimes you just got to break down and be honest because we're all human. We got to stop trying to make everybody look like we woke up like this and everything is beautiful and everything is fine. Be honest. Walk away especially if you have girls. Because you don't want to see your girls go through it. And if you have boys, because you don't want your boys to think that's how they're supposed to treat women. So I say you got to walk away before you snap and something happens. You wake up and you look up and you in jail for the rest of your life because you done snapped on somebody who's been beating you down and hurting you and making you feel less than and putting fear in your heart. Walk away and see if that person will come back and fight for you and be willing to change, like actually change.
It requires a standard. I agree with my wife. I don't think it's about money. If he's the sole provider, that divorce is going to get you child support, alimony, and who knows what else. It is about love, but you do have to raise a standard. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I respect my wife because of the standard that she sets. Every man will have a moment where he smells himself and his ego wants to come forth and whatever the case may be. And men will only rise to the standard that their women set at certain times. Like you want to get to a point in time where you both are just walking in the fullness of Christ the way you're supposed to be. But we all have these moments. But I definitely can tell you that in my house, it's because my wife is only going to tolerate so much. She's just not going to be a walkover. And I've walked over women before. I mean, I've walked over them. They allowed it. You know what I mean? But she holds me to a higher standard. So in this particular situation, if you're at your wit's end, then it's time to stand up for yourself. And you have to determine what that looks like, because we have to make sure that we give advice and not instruction. So we're not giving you instruction. We're just giving you advice that is probably at a particular time where you need to love yourself and your kids enough, not use money as the scapegoat, and face the real issue in love and see if he'll raise up to that standard. Because if not, then it's just going to be a snowball effect from here, pretty much.
Miss Connie Stevens of Memphis want to know, what do you do to ensure that each child feels special and that they are not, that they're not invisible, and that they're not invisible, and that you have a good relationship with each of them? How do you make
I don't want to sound like flat, but like, to me that's easy. You have to know each one individually, like, and show interest in what they like. I know what Trey like. You know, Trey like fishing, Trey like working out, Trey likes football. He likes to cook on the grill. I'm not going to go to Trey and be like, yo, you want to play Xbox? It's not his thing. I know what he likes. I know what Cohen likes. Kyan I got to work on. Kyan ain't fooling with me yet, but I got to get Kyan. He probably going to go to the white first. Dallas, I know how Dallas' mind works. I know the things he likes. I know when he light up when I say, how does that work? Well, break that down to me. I know what he likes. You know what I'm saying? I know what Zion likes. You know what I mean? Zion be in her own world. But I know what she likes. She likes fashion, makeup. She likes to have a good time. She likes to, party in atmospheres where it's safe and she doesn't feel like she's in jeopardy. She likes to feel in safe environments. I think it boils down to, again, intentional parenting, not taking all your kids to the soccer field. He might not like soccer. He might like dance. He might like piano. He might like archery. Who knows? But I think it's about intentional parenting, asking your children, talking to them, and trusting them for what they say. Don't discount them because they're young, and find ways to invest in the things that they like in particular. You know what I mean? Family trips are for family trips. And everybody's situation is different, from money to time constraints to flexibility, whatever. But family trips are where we all get together on one accord. But outside of that, it's very important to figure out how to invest in each one's individual personality and characteristic traits.
I'm going to speak on the families that have been through divorces. This kid is with this mother. This kid is with the father. I'm going to speak on the mother who just came into her kid's life, the father who just came into the kid's life. Sometimes, because you spoke on it from a different angle, so I'm going to go from a different angle because I don't know what this mother's going through. Sometimes when you're dealing with all of that, divorcee, and I just came into my child's life, we just get back together. Sometimes they play on that. And it's hard because you're doing everything you can. You're taking this one to the park. You're taking this one to get cotton candy. You're taking this one over here to Sky High. This one want to go swimming. You're doing everything. You're doing so much that you've forgotten yourself. You don't even do for yourself now. Sometimes you have to get to the root of the problem and realize that a lot of times those kids don't acknowledge what you've done until they get to a certain age. It's the truth. They go through that teenage era where they smell themselves, where they attitudey, where they like it's never enough. So I think you have to be honest with yourself, sit back and realize what you're doing, how you're doing it. It's coming from a good place. It's not coming from I want to please my children, because that can hurt you. It's not that I want to please you, but I want to invest in the things that you love and you like, and I'll be there for you and I will root you on. But at the same time, I feel like you got to sit back and understand that you mold your child. You help them to be, their dreams come true, and you also guide them and teach them, and you can't let them mold you into what they want you to be. Does that make sense? Because if you do, then they'll just run out, love you forever and ever and ever. And I know we got to end this thing because this has been great. Been some great questions. But I think when you're dealing with situations where this child's over here, we deal with it with Dallas. He goes to his father's house, and there's certain things that they do over there. He comes over here, and there's certain today he's been following me all day long because I told him I would get him a Lego table, because since we've been to Legoland, he's now in Lego World. But when I went to look up the Lego table, it's what I should buy for Christmas. It's not cheap. So all day long, he been tapping me with a Lego in his hands. I'm like, do on my son, roll on. Because I know what you're asking me for. But if I just break down and say, I'll get the Lego table for him, then it's almost like then he feels like I should break down and get him whatever he wants. But no, we just took you to Legoland, and that was a prize. And we drove 9 hours. This is something me and Ken has never done. Okay, and we just had a new baby who just came out of the NICU. So that means we showed up for Dallas, we showed up for Cohen, and we showed up for Braxton. We took you, we drove 9 hours, we let you splurge, have a ball, stay out to 1 o'clock, meet new children. You just run around.
Like, what else?
Right. So I feel like you have to, whatever your situation is, whether it comes from Kendall's point of view or mine, you cannot allow your children to mold you, because now you're just being a pushover and they're running over you, and you're just giving and not teaching any lessons. There's ways to teach lessons in love. And there's ways to be there for all of them in love, but also show them that the world is not going to do this for you, so I can't do this for you. I have to show you what you're working with when you get out there, and I'm not going to be with you, and Dad's not going to be with you. It's going to toss you some things that I need you to be ready for. So I can't give you everything. I might not be able to be there every day because I have to make sure you have a roof over your head. You understand what I'm saying? There's a sacrifice. And T.D. Jakes was talking about this one time. We're living in a time where some people have to work hard. So I can't just be there, get off. I can't do it. But I love you. I love you enough to make my feet hurt, my whole body hurt. I never had a massage in my life. You do something for me, son. It's my birthday, not just a happy birthday, mommy. Go to Massage Envy or somewhere and get me a card. Cause I'm tired. Cause I've been working all my life. Who's that? Sophia Seeley. I've been working. You see what I'm saying? So you just have to pray about it, because we're living in a generation now where they'll make you feel like more. And it's like, wait a minute. Hold up. I still got to pull some things from the old days, but not be so old where I'm not relatable to you. But I got to have a balance.
Last question. I love this whole thing. No crowns in the castle. Like, I love that. Like, I'm to the point where I'm like, I can't even wait to read it. Like, I'm to the point where no crowns in the apartment, no crowns in the condo, no crowns no crowns at the dinner table, like no crowns in my life. You know what I mean? What was the conversation around that title? Like, because I said for so many times, like, whoops, I just kept trying to think, like, what could be the name? You know, I've been in both of you lives, and I just kept trying to think, what could be the name? Like, so what was the conversation around it's brilliant. Like, what was the conversation that led up to no crowns in the castle?
Well, I think it's because we always said we're two alphas. And two alphas does not mean a celebrity and a business owner. That could be two alphas who works at a dentist's office, a doctor's office, you know, whatever it is that you do, you're a trainer, you do nails, you got two alphas. You got a male and a female, and two alphas she wants to be a boss and do her thing, and he wants to be a boss and do his thing. Now, how do we make that work? Because that can be hard. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So I think we should break down layers of it as we go, because we got almost a year before the book comes out.
It ain't a whole year.
Is it? It feels like it. I'm ready for it to come, because we had some
April
deep
2022
conversations. But I feel like the only way this thing can work is no crowns in the home. Like, we can go out there and do what we do. I'll go do my shows. He'll go do his engagements when he speaks and teach. But when we come home, you got to leave that at the door because it ain't going to work.
And we talk about the times when, you know, the negative side effects of wearing your crown around the crib. You know, using your crown to try to gain leverage in a debate, or, you know, moments of uncompromise, short-sightedness. You know, instead of looking at the whole picture, you know, we got a joint in there called Mixed Ingredients, putting together a blended family.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? We got a joint called Contracts and Covenant. You know, it's deep, you know. But at the end of the day, I think the secret behind the title is the power of humility. And that takes, again, some more intentionality. It has to be intentional for my wife to go do a sold-out crowd of 10,000 people cheering your name, encore, 30,000 people at a festival, and still come backstage and see me as king. It takes the same thing for me to be able to navigate through business and get applause and know the power that I have, but also be able to surrender to her emotions and to make sure I don't let the growth over here take me away from protecting her as my priority. You know what I mean? That we balance increase. Increase can tear us apart. You know, sometimes it's easier when we didn't have nothing and we was just out there watching the airplanes fly. We was doing picnics by the lake. You know what I'm saying? Ain't even had no bread to get the ducks. We hungry. You know what I'm saying?
We wasn't hungry. You know I was out there with some Bojangles.
I'm just using metaphors, girl.
I bought us some Bojangles.
It was
and
smooth.
some Jersey
Can't get the
Mike.
breads, the duck. I mean, the duck
Jersey
to the
Mike
bread.
subs. You could have took that bread off and gave it to the duck.
I wasn't even talking about that time anyway. But it's a huge test when the increase comes, especially when you get so used to being down, and then it comes. We haven't known each other both at our prime. You know what I'm saying? She was at her prime, I was at my prime. Then I ended up going through, she started going through. Then we got together, lost everything. Now we're going into the season of she's popping, I'm popping. She closing deals, I'm closing deals. We closing deals. This is new for us. So we have to take our crowns off and remember. And I think if I had to pick my favorite chapter being the most powerful is Contracts and Covenant. And I'm not going to share none of that because we're going to play with that. But learning how to not let your worldly contract supersede your heavenly covenant.
Come on, somebody.
That your heavenly covenant should always be the foundation, because contracts come and go. But the way we broke that thing down about how when contracts didn't work out, it was our covenant that kept us that we walked that dog.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. We regardless, like, we're both alphas and we both got businesses, and he's doing this and I'm doing that, and we're doing things together. The marriage, the family comes first. And that's a hard
read this
thing.
tonight.
I mean, even down to the cover. Like, there was this one picture on the cover, and my wife was kind of sitting next to me, and I'm sitting like this, and I'm smiling, and she's kind of doing like this, and I was like, nah, that don't feel right. I don't like that. It's not balanced. It's not. So we picked one where we're holding hands, showing the unity, but we kind of look at, she over there like, and what? And I'm over there like, hold up, what? So you see these two kind of egos, you see the separation, but our hands are together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, everything was strategically.
Which basically says what we said to the lady that asked the questions. Our hands are together, but I'm looking over here like, nigga, please. And he looking over there like, who you supposed to be? That's marriage. But our hands are together. And I don't think we'll ever let go. I'll kill you, Anime, if you try to leave me.
I'm ready to get me some popcorn and me some wine and read this tonight.
Are you going to drink some wine?
I might do read this. I might.
Well, let me come with you, because you would never know what to buy.
I might do.
You know they got that Welch's juice in the champagne bottle. Just give you the vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Things have some apple cider and swear it down, he tipsy.
I might do a little. I might pop a bottle for y'all.
Yeah,
for y'all name, you know.
So we definitely believe it's something that's gonna make people think.
Yeah.
And we want couples, singles to come together. We just want people to start having conversations. Just stop just jumping in things blindly and jumping out of them ignorantly.
Because we jumped. So believe, like, what we oh my God, that's good. Where we're coming from is a true place. So our experience and what we went through is because we jumped. We jumped.
We didn't even know each other. We be watching that show, what, 90 Days Fiance?
Yes.
It's no different.
We jumped.
And they had 90 days.
So
We had 21.
Right.
They had, every time we watching that show, I'm like, you see what they be going through, and they be like, should I did this? I can't stand them. This ain't what I thought it was gonna be. They had 90 days. We had a
but
third
we
of
didn't
that.
have no cameras around. So we nothing that we did.
No,
the
but we
jump,
did.
But the
No, but
jump,
we did.
But what I'm saying is the jump wasn't even a force
Yeah,
of
a little
like
less privacy,
people watching.
You know
us.
what I'm saying?
We jumped
Yeah, we took that year
with
off.
nobody knowing.
Yeah, what did Ricky say? You ain't seen nothing about my feet.
You see nothing but your
Yeah.
Lord Jesus.
So No Crowns in the Castle is a true testament. It is. Oh, I can't wait to read. I can't. For those of you who came in a little late, No Crowns in the Castle is up for pre-sale.
Hashtag that.
No crowns in the castle. No
Yeah,
crowns
and that means
in
when
the
you come over here to
castle.
do my hair, leave your crown at the door. Don't come in here with your crown.
Oh, I thought
Because
that
that's
was
same
you.
for you.
Oh, I thought that was for you and Kendall and
No,
Couples.
it's for you too.
Oh, I didn't.
Leave
I
your
didn't know
crown
that.
at the door.
I didn't know that was include me.
Come in
I
here.
thought that was. I thought that was couples.
No, I think I said something in there about you.
Oh, I thought this book was about marriage. And
No,
couples.
it's about everything that's got something to do with us, and you play a big part, honey. And
You know
I
you
talk,
mad
I
when you
tread.
tell somebody off and you never give them eye contact. She looking over there nice, giving Dorikas the business.
I
No
talk
crowns
trash
in the
about you.
castle is available. What was the people wanting to know? Where can they?
Barnes and
Definitely
Noble.
Barnes and
We're gonna
Noble. Stay
post it.
tuned,
We're gonna
though.
post it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna post it
Yeah,
too.
we're going to
Yeah.
have some fun with this thing. Like we're proud of this. You know, this is our life. You know what I mean? In a very, very artistic form. The way they brought out my wife's genius through the different metaphors is just something I don't even know how you're gonna tease with that. But like what you and Hillary did about your genius and being able to bring.
Shout out to Hillary.
What up, Hill?
Because Hillary was saying some stuff that I was like, yeah, that's it. She was like, what I'm seeing is, and I was like, yo, I think you got a gift. Like, I don't think you need to write books no more. You might be a prophet. So me and Ken, there were moments like, well, I cried. You know what I mean? There were moments where like I had to get up and walk out. There were moments where she cried. There were moments where we just sat there and was like, yo. Like, I didn't even think about it like that. There were moments when me and Kendall walked off and was like, don't talk to me, and I'm not going to talk to you.
We got it in.
But we said, like, if the book wasn't going to do that, we didn't want to write it.
You think I can get a book deal spin-off, No Crowns in a Friendship? That's dope. That is dope. Oh, that is so dope. You think I can get a spin-off, a little deal on the side, a little something, No Crowns in a Friendship?
We could probably get a no fitted. We can get a no fitted in the
Only if
friendship.
it's about me and you.
Oh, I'm not airing out my business.
I just want the royalties. He said, I just want the royalties. Yeah. Great questions, though, man. Great questions. Great.
And the ones we didn't get to, we will do this again because there was a lot of questions we didn't get to.
Yeah.
You know.
We never are able to get to them all. We do our best and hope the Spirit leads us so we don't give any false information. Again, we're never giving instruction. We're giving advice and what we hope is godly and loving perspective just for consideration. You know, we all trying to figure out our way through here. And, yeah. You want to pray and play? I pray, he play. Let's pray and play. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Heavenly Father, definitely no crowns in the crib. You are the King of all kings and the Lord of lords. You are the Almighty. All that has ever been created has just been etched with your pen. Your breath can command things to come alive, to stand still, and to never be again. Let us not minimize who you are. We talk about God, we talk about prayer, we talk about faith, but we also have reduced you to our limited understanding when, Lord, we can't even begin to conceive all that you are. And let your majesty and that level of greatness just rest on Dee and her family. Allow them to be covered, Lord. We ask for nothing in this moment, but for you to just let your loving grace and your unwavering gentleness and long suffering just manifest in that home. Heal what needs to be healed, break free what needs to be broken free, and restore that which only you can. and touch and bless everybody who's tuned in, who shares it, Lord. It's not for reach and all of that nonsense, but for something positive with all the negativity that's going on in the world. So we will use our platform to uplift your name. We give you all the glory. We give you all the praise, and let your perfect will be done with everything we have our hands to. In Yeshua's name we pray, we thank you, and we believe. Amen.
Ain't no party like a Holy Ghost party. Well, bump y'all then.
She said, "We'll bump y'all then."
Get y'all then.
You don't love God?
I
What's
tried to
wrong
get
with
a
you?
hype.
Nice, I know
tried to
you
get.
finna get it in.
I tried to get spin hype. You know, ain't no party like a Holy Ghost party. Hey.
He over there hyping himself up.
Ain't no party like a Holy Ghost party.
Ah.
That's 3 different versions already.
Ain't no
Nice.
party like a Holy
Nice,
Ghost
but
party.
nice. Can I just make a request? Because I'm feeling
go.
real like, what?
Here we go.
What you got?
I hadn't even said nothing to you all
You
night.
being
I've
a
been
party
like,
down or what's your
I got a request. I mean, you brought the sneakers. You got me feeling real,
Listen,
yummy.
they on here talking about Tasia got on retros. Tasia
Yeah,
got
I'm
on
feeling
retros.
real yummy. So I want you to bring it back. I'm feeling like my tour days on the bus, when we used to make the bus rock left and right. You know what I mean? So I have a right to be a little rat. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like real ratchet right now. I don't know where you was about to go, but I want to hear something, and it's going to make me bob.
What you want?
It was that Remy Ma. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm conceding. I got a reason.
I want to hear I'm conceited by Remy Mine. I'm going to go ahead and exit left. This is a girl's anthem, and I will.
It is, and
I
I'm
will
feeling,
thank you all for tonight, but I'm a salute for a
this is
soldier.
for the young lady that texted in and was like, if I don't look a certain way, Mama, you are it. Just play the clean version because I think she was real
Salute
young.
first.
You wearing a heel next week.